This video is going to be a complete breakdown of the 12 by 16 foot pergola here behind me. We're going to break down how it's constructed, my experience putting it together, and then kind of my initial thoughts after having this up over my patio for about a month. So make sure that you stick around. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about here is the design in the construction. Now, this is the 12 foot side is here, and then this is the 16 foot side. The reason why I got this particular 16 foot canopy or a pergola is because there is no post here. Now, I'm 6 foot tall, so as you can see here, I can get behind the, get underneath the canopy here for the shade. And the fact that it's a 4-post pergola is the reason why we purchased this one initially. Now, when talking about the construction of this pergola, one thing I did like about it, I don't know if you can hear that, but it is an aluminum, it's an aluminum frame on this. It's not wood, so it's really lightweight. It's also not metal. It's not steel, so that it's not going to rust. This is an all aluminum. I'm not gonna have to deal with rust with this for a number of years. And I kind of wanted to zoom in here because this is a split post. So the whole pergola here is about 7.5, 8 foot to the top. And then this post here is about 5 foot. And then the other three or so is split. It comes with all these, basically, it comes with M6 bolts. I'll pop one of these off here in a second, but everything kind of slides together and then attaches with these M6 bolts. It's been sturdy so far. We've had here in the Northeast a number of storms, a number of wind and rain. I thought this was going to be a weak point and maybe this was going to pull over, but it does wiggle around a little bit. So don't expect something that's going to be super rock solid, but all the storms and rain that we've had up here in the Northeast this June, it's been fine. It's not gone anywhere. The anchors, I'll talk about those in a second. The anchors have held up. And yeah, I've been happy with the storm performances, again, even though this is a split post. Now, when it comes to the canopy design, I brought you kind of here around the side. I didn't expect it to have as much of a wave in it when I put it up. I expected it to be a lot tauter. But this honestly has not been a huge issue for us so far. I'm 6 foot tall. I've never had to feel like I had to duck under the bottom of the loops here. And so it is tall enough. The fabric seems to be a high quality. I've only had it a month, so we don't know how this will be next season. But overall, first impressions of it, it's a decent quality canopy. And I didn't think, again, the loops are not low enough to the point where you're going to be ducking or it's hard to stand up. As you can see, we put a picnic table just underneath it. It's fine to sit under. It's plenty of headroom. You don't feel cramped. It's about the same height, actually a little bit higher than a nice umbrella. Now, when there is a storm coming, though, the canopy should definitely be retracted. That is something that we definitely liked about this. It's really simple. The canopy's on a set of rollers. It comes right over this way, and then they actually give you a little strap. I'll zoom in here in a second, and that basically just allows you to go ahead and kind of just tie it up. And now you can store this overnight, or you can store this for a storm, and now you're still going to have the pergola frame, but the canopy is not going to act like a giant sail. And this is what I wanted to show you. This strap here is built, it's sewed right into the canopy itself. It's Velcro on the end, and basically you can go around the pergola on the other end, which will keep it from flying back. And then you've also got it over here, keeping it from opening while it's closed. Now, the only downside to this here is that this does hold a fair amount of water when it does rain. It's not a lot. My first worry was that when this filled up with water, it would stress the frame because the frame is really lightly constructed. That's how they're able to get away with only 4 posts. But the weight of the water that this holds was never at any point really wasn't straining the top pergola. Nothing's bent. Although occasionally I will come out and I'll do this. I'll just kind of run my hand along and that'll run all the water off the side. I just do that after it rains just so it's not holding a lot of weight. But the loops in the canopy do actually hold some water. So I go ahead, I just run my hand across both sides and all the water just kind of falls out the sides. If they do a new design though, having a couple of grommets right here would probably do wonders. Or if you could add them yourself, that might be a worthwhile add. You just kind of add little grommets there so it doesn't hold water. Now, putting this thing together took me and my wife about 3 to 3.5 hours. It's not a terribly difficult installation. The instructions were actually fairly well written. I was actually surprised at how well the instructions were written. Everything came numbered, and it's all really just, they give you the one tool that you need, which is an Allen key. But if you have your own Allen key and a drill like we did, it's going to make the installation go a lot faster because you're not turning all these bolts. I think there's like 200 M6 bolts on here. If you're not turning them by hand, you're going to save yourself a lot of time. Now, let me zoom in here and kind of show you what the bolts are. These are M6 bolts, and they have I think it's a 4mm Allen head key on them. So if you have that bit and you've got a drill, it's going to make it really simple, but it's just these and a washer for all of the fasteners here. And then, so these aren't exposed. They give you these little plastic caps that basically just kind of pop onto all the pop onto all the screws so you don't see them. And outside of actually tightening all the screws, this was probably the longest step in the whole process, was going around the whole pergola and popping these caps on all the screws. Now, I will say that the one that I got, the kit that I got, was a couple of those bolts short. As you can see up here, some of these here are silver. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but I was 4 bolts short. But luckily, it's a standard M6 thread. I went to Home Depot, I got a bag of M6s, and they went right into the holes. So it was kind of a knock against the manufacturer of this, but it wasn't really a hard fix. And it functions just the same. I just don't have the caps just don't fit on theirs, but I'm not going to knock the whole pergola over missing 4 bolts. Now, when it comes to anchoring this into the ground, as you can see, it has this kind of spread foot on it. The anchors are not included, so you're going to have to go out and you have to get them yourself. So basically, again, it uses those M6 bolts there to attach to the plate, and then the plate goes into the ground, or lays on top of the ground rather. So if you're on a concrete surface, you might want to drop concrete anchors and then go through these holes. There's a hole on each side of these. You can actually drop concrete anchors if you're on a concrete surface like a pool deck. But what I did was I actually used these tent tie-down stakes over from Home Depot. They're a big helical shape and they go about 1 foot into the ground. I'll bring up a picture of it right here on the screen so you can see what it looks like. But that basically just twists in. It took me about 30 seconds to do per side. It fits perfectly in the hole provided. And this is actually what's kept it going, really kept it in place during a couple of the storms and all the wind that we've gotten here up in the Northeast. And then once everything was in place, I just moved the rocks around it, and you can't even see the base plate. It just looks like it's just anchored into the ground. But again, you've just got this, you've got the stake. But honestly, that's the easiest solution that I could come up with, and it's also the most secure. In the roughly 1 month that we've had this particular pergola, there have been absolutely no problems with it. It stayed in place, it stayed sturdy, it weathered some storms, it's weathered some heavy rain. This thing has been fine. It's not even started to fade in the sun. And we've gotten nothing but compliments. People love sitting under this. It's definitely provided a lot of shade over our table, way more than an umbrella would have. And overall, I'm really happy with the purchase. I was a little skeptical, basically assembling an aluminum pergola from Amazon, but it's worked out. I've been really happy with the result, and I would definitely buy another one or recommend it to somebody who is in the market maybe for a pergola and doesn't want to spend a couple $1,000s. Hey, real quick, if you like what you see in this video and you want to purchase one for yourself, I've left links to everything here in the description. And if you want more no-nonsense, no BS product reviews, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss one.